All right guys, as you just heard, we're going to do our review and install today of the AFE Mach-Force XP high-tuck axle-back exhaust with black tip for all 2018 and later Jeep Wrangler JLs with the 3.6 liter V6. Now this axle-back exhaust is really going to appeal to the JL owner out there who's looking to maximize their terrain and obstacle clearance while also adding some personality to their exhaust note. On our Wake the Neighbor loudness scale, I'd give it about a 3 out of 5. I think as you just saw in our sound clips, there's nothing too outrageous to this exhaust until you're really hitting it hard on the acceleration and you're pushing it up towards the red line. That's when the character of this exhaust really comes into play. When we're just cruising down the road at more regular speeds and regular RPMs, you don't really notice it too much, to be quite honest with you. And certainly no drone as you're just cruising down the road. Now most, if not all, Jeep owners out there like to take their Jeep off-road. Whether you're doing some extreme rock crawling, trail riding, or you just like to push it through some mud and snow, keeping your Jeep above it all in any of those conditions is paramount. Now AFE does market this kit as a high-tuck design. Now working with this kit today, I was curious to see just how much extra ground clearance we were going to get with it. So we did take a couple of measurements before and after the installation, and I'll share the results of those with you later in this video. Now adding this black tip does really dress it up and it looks really good on this Jeep. However, you do lose about an inch or two of ground clearance when you put that tip on. Now different engines have different character to them. And let's face it, under most driving conditions, the JL's 3.6 liter V6 is pretty refined in its exhaust note. Now this upgrade from AFE will add a lot of personality to that exhaust note, especially when you're hitting it hard in the acceleration. This kit from AFE is made out of 409 stainless steel and it's mandrel bent to this design. It replaces everything up to the first clamp back to the rest of your exhaust system, pulling out the relatively low-hanging muffler and keeping this high-tuck design. Now this AFE design maintains the 2.5-inch diameter tubing that your stock exhaust does. However, without that muffler providing added back pressure, I did notice a little bit better throttle response when we were out there doing our sound test for you earlier in this video. Backed by a 2-year manufacturer's warranty, this kit comes in right around $175. Now that does put it towards the upper end of the price scale. However, if you like the sound, if you like the high-tuck design, as well as the appearance of this black tip, it's probably a solid investment. Now, as far as the installation goes, guys, this is something you could easily do in your own driveway at home. I'm giving it a 1 out of 3 wrenches on our difficulty meter. With some basic tools and some lubricant, you should be able to get this job done in well under 2 hours. With that said, let's go ahead and do the installation right now. Okay, guys, the tools we're going to use for this installation, it's good to grab a can of PB Blaster or similar penetrating oil. We're going to use a exhaust hanger removal tool, a 13-inch ratcheting wrench, 17, 15, and 13 millimeter deep well sockets, a 6-inch extension, and our electric impact wrench. And working underneath cars and spraying lubricants around, it's a good idea to have some eye protection. Okay, now we have our Jeep up on a lift so we can give you a good shot at what we're going to do under here. We're basically going to be removing this entire muffler all the way back to the first clamp that connects this rear section to the rest of your exhaust. To disconnect that, there's going to be 1 clamp back there and 2 brackets, 1 here and 1 here. It's actually easier to remove those brackets and drop this down than to get a hanger removal tool in there to release the muffler from the rubber hangers. It's really tight in there, and we're going to show you how to do that right now. All right, guys, I have my electric impact gun here, and I have a 15 millimeter deep well socket on it. It's a little tight, but get it up in here. All right, guys, now I have a 13 millimeter deep well socket and an extension on my impact wrench. Just kind of fish it up in there. We're gonna go after the top bolt on that bracket. I think you're technically seeing the back side of it right now. We're gonna go after this bolt right here. I got a 13 millimeter ratcheting wrench. All right, now we're gonna go to the other side. All right guys, again, same thing as the driver's side. Over here on the passenger side, a 13mm socket. All right guys, we've wiggled everything loose and taken out all the hardware holding these clamps, so just go ahead and pull your muffler away. Okay guys, we have our factory muffler off the Jeep and up here on the table for a good old side-by-side comparison. Now, at first glance, we definitely have a David versus Goliath situation here. You're gonna be eliminating basically everything from here down off your factory pipe. This high clearance pipe from AFE is going to give you better ground clearance. It's also going to dress up the rear end appearance of your Jeep. You have this optional tip here. If you're buying this kit, you probably want this. That's going to dress up the tail end nice, but it has its own separate clamp. So if you have that on most of the time, but you're going to hit the trails on the weekend, you can easily remove this so it doesn't get damaged and scuffed up, and it'll add just that much more clearance for your tailpipe. I'll just put up here side by side. That's about even with the factory hanger, and you can see how much clearance you're going to get there. All in all, it's an attractive unit, and let's go ahead and we'll get her installed. All right guys, we're going to pop off this rubber hanger off of our factory exhaust. Good thing to do, get some kind of penetrating oil like PB Blaster, kind of pull us back a little bit, create a gap and just give it a little shot in there, work it around a little bit. If you have one of these, it makes this job a lot easier. And we're going to attach this to our new pipe. Okay, now we're going to take our new AFE pipe, we're going to slide it on the rest of the exhaust pipe, and we'll kind of get that loosely fit first, and then we will reattach this bracket for the rubber hanger. You can put a little bit of oil on the end of this exhaust pipe too to help slide this on a little bit easier. There we go. And of course, have your clamp on before you do that. And we get it up into place, and now we'll cinch it down with a socket in a minute. Okay, now just kind of wiggle it into place. You see this kind of bent up part here. This fits nicely underneath the bracket on the frame rail. Helps you line it up. And we'll get a couple bolts started with our fingers first. That one there, and then the one up top. And I'm going to grab my impact wrench and we'll tighten these down. Again, we were using our factory hardware there, and that was a 13mm. And again, that was a 13mm for both the bolts for this rubber hanger bracket. All right guys, now the new hardware with the AFE pipe is a 15mm for this bolt. Real quick, something I wanted to share with you guys is that when we still had our stock muffler on our Jeep here, I took a quick measurement, just a quick and dirty measurement with my tape measure here, and from the bottom of our stock bumper to the bottom of where our factory tailpipe came down, it was about 4.5 inches. So with this new AFE pipe without the tip on there, if you want to keep it in that configuration, if you're going to go out hitting the trails, This comes in roughly about 2 inches below. So you're gaining 2.5 inches of extra clearance. I don't know, every little bit might count when you're out there hitting some extreme obstacles. So right now we're gonna go ahead and put that black tip on and we'll see how much that hangs down. All right, now grab your black AFE tip here, get your clamp started on first. I did put a little bit of oil on the inside of that. Hopefully this will slide on okay. These are often very snug. All right, that's about as far up as it'll go. Now that we have the tip on there, just another real quick and dirty measurement. That puts us about 4 inches below, so you're just a tad higher than your stock muffler tip. So definitely if you're really looking to maximize the high tuck aspect of this pipe from AFE, I would recommend not putting the tip on if you're gonna go off-roading. Now this bolt back here for this clamp is a 17 millimeter. We'll tighten that up. All right, that does it for this review and install of this AFE MachForce XP High Tuck Axleback Exhaust with black tip for all 2018 and later Wrangler JLs. And for all things Wrangler, keep it right here at ExtremeTerrain.com.